Gotta put this on blast. Wait,
Yeah.
let me just.
I'm gonna face you, you know, because I'm having a conversation with you. I'm not having a conversation with random people. Sometimes you would look in the camera, but yeah.
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 Ladies and gents, we just spent
Almost like 20 minutes
this
fiddling with this
the
shit.
trying to make this thing work in the car, going with a new concept. You know what's the thing, man? I always notice about doing things like this. It was always let's just let it go. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Let me just let it go.
yeah.
And because believe it or not, so we're trying to set up this ring light in the car so it can think. So every time we put the phone falls off, and it's like one of those annoying things, and you're like,
It's playing a psychological
even
game.
now I'm having this psychological game where I'm moving my body very like calculated, because I know if I go crazy,
one little shake,
hey man,
this motherfucker's going down, bro.
Hey man,
Hey, but no, man, we're really just trying our best to stay consistent with this podcast shit. Record. Eventually, things like this put you to the test where you just feel like, why the fuck am I even
like
wasting
why
my
are you
time
doing
with this
it?
shit?
Yeah,
Like, cause like you must remember, we're genuinely outside basically we're in a car.
Sorry, man, you got the doors locked, man.
Yeah, I do.
Hey, man,
And at the same time, it's that thing of people can see what the fuck's going on. Like motherfuckers is walking by thinking, what the fuck are these cats doing? You know what I'm saying? But that's basically the one thing that I think I was even talking to my friend TK about. I was like, remember Tyler the Creator said, when has it been cool not to try shit? Like, when has it been cool?
It was ASAP.
It was ASAP.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, my quote, my references were incorrect. But ASAP, yeah, said something like that. And I think that speaks to a lot of shit. Like, usually when you try shit out, you never know how that shit could go, man. It could go either way. It could go good, and then all of a sudden you have something cool going on for you. Or you just like, didn't work out. And you lose nothing. You learn something at the end.
I think what we live in a society where everything just is fueled by hate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have you noticed, guys? Let me be real with you. There are always going to be people that hate. If go to any celebrities comment section, there's someone hating there. So don't ever think that even if you were talented, or you were doing something great, or whatever you're doing, someone's always going to be trying to pull you down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just how some people are. And sometimes it's not that they may be envious or they want what you have. They're just like that. People just be peopling, man. That's my new saying. People be poopling.
Yeah, I catch myself just be hating for no fucking reason, bro. Sometimes.
Hey, man, like I said, first episode, man. Sometimes the hate is needed. Some people be thinking they can be doing everything. You know what I mean?
But that's hating. How do you know the nigga can't do everything, though? That's my thing.
I mean, you're gonna get Terrence Howard thinking he could just like pull mats out his ass, and now, you see what I'm saying? That's why they hate. We need to come together as a collective, as a union, and saying, hey, man, we love things from a philosophical point of view. I feel like this is the third time I'll be talking about this shit in this podcast. It just pisses me off. But I just feel like it's always hard and to try stuff, and we don't encourage each other anymore to try something new.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that time when we met someone from uni who used to create content, who doesn't create content anymore. And I was telling them, and mind you, this person was on the radio, and I was telling this person, hey man, why don't you start a podcast? And this person was like, why would people want to listen to me talk? I think everything has been said.
Which is cap, though.
Yeah, man. I think the main things that embedded in our low self-esteem as a generation is because of the hate. I think it's always easier to hate on something that someone's always going to do from the get-go than to encourage.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it's also like we all want to try stuff, and then I feel like we never end up doing what we want to try. So it's kind of like you hope that everyone it's like you don't want to feel like you're the only one who's fucking up, you know. So sometimes it's good to hear that someone else fucked up. That's why like people like that chat that they will be saying Michael Jordan didn't get drafted for his high school team, blah blah blah. You know, it's just to also I think it's hidden to say they're trying to motivate people, but I think it's just more like they're just trying to say it's cool to fail, man. Don't worry. You know what I'm saying? Which sometimes
it is okay.
It's okay, but like,
you know what I mean?
You should just
before we carry on, we did not do an intro.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, man. Sorry. We just got carried away there. Just hold that thought. We're gonna carry it on after this. Welcome, guys. Welcome back to 3rd Avenue. This time, next to 3rd Avenue, but on 7th Street. Reporting live is your man Hussein. Chilling with my twin bro. Just the two broskies today.
Wagwan. It's your man Vinny. Hope you guys good.
Yeah, man. Just couldn't get some guests in, you know, man. I had a homie, man. He works in Cape Town, so he's from Cape Town, and we went to uni together, man. Yeah. And we recorded like 3 episodes of a podcast back in uni 2019. And you know, the overthinking, I think. So I thought he was gonna be here today, you know. Yeah. So we could just like say, hey, man, finally doing it, man, and big ups, man. Like, join, man. You know, we could have had conversations. It was just different things.
Yeah.
So, yo, man, I kind of had a planned guest who didn't know he was going to appear in a podcast. You know what I mean? Oh, and now he pulls up the popo, man.
Yeah, no, this is going to be a good one.
Yes, this is going to be great. So just open up the window there.
Oh shit, they might be. Oh, they don't even seem like they're interested in us.
Oh man, they're not interested in us.
Yeah, I mean.
So yeah, man. So we just shooting content in the car. We're hoping that the cops they parked right side beside us. It's the very first.
They probably think we're recording some fucking TikTok or some shit, you know.
I mean,
I don't even think. Yeah, I don't think it's that weird to be having like a ring light in your car.
That's so fucked up.
Like, I feel like we all like, be like, oh, that's how that guy gets that TikTok video done. You know, like, you know what I'm saying?
We're living in a society where it has become normal to see phones out, ring lights out, tripods out. There's literally niggas dancing right in front of us right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If the popos are cool, man, we're cool. You know what I mean? So that's great.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. You were saying thing about Howard. No. You're talking about how people saying it's okay to fail. Right? I can be like Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
I could be like Mike Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
I don't know if Joe Rogan said this, but once it was called a song, it's called Footage. But it had like this intro. It was an intro to this EP. I forgot the guy, but it was Take Something. He was an instrumentalist. He makes instrumentals. So he started his EP with this. I don't know if Joe Rogan where he says failure is one of the most important things that you can experience. You know what's the biggest thing about people? We are afraid of failure. Because failure is going to grow you as a person. You don't grow as a person from success. You grow from the failures. I don't want to sound cheesy, dog. I want to sound cheesy, fam. But like, guys, I'm going to start using Crody. But yeah, Crody, listen, bruv. There is only way, you know when you're a child and your mom reprimands you,
yeah.
And then they'll not let him go. And then maybe you fall on the floor and they're like, yeah, you've learned your lesson, right?
Yeah.
That's failure. Like some things a nigga could tell you, dog, listen to me, man. They write books, man. They write books for us, do vlogs, do movies to teach us not to fail like others do. But when a nigga just wants to fail and has to learn the hard way, sometimes it's just the way it is.
Yeah, just the way it is.
That's the only way you're going to succeed. So if anyone in your entire life, guys, let me be real with you. No one wants to hear, yeah. And so how did I build this company? I woke up one morning, built an idea, then it sold, it IPO, then I made $1 billion. Yeah. No. That shit's boring. The nigga wants to say, hey man, I want to sound like Colonel Sanders.
Yeah.
The nigga from KFC and say, nigga, I don't know, 1,000 something times I gave these niggas the recipe. They were like, nah.
But that's a nice come up story, man. We all like
man. But these days, man, they be exposing niggas for fabricated come up stories, man.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Obviously, you got like a dope come up story can guarantee you a dope fucking career. I feel like it's the same with like the UFC. Like Dana White was talking, like usually what makes combat sport like that, it's usually the stories, you know, like why these two motherfuckers are fighting. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we all fucked with like the biggest fights we all know, like Thriller in Manila, where Muhammad Ali is fighting.
It's always, you know, it's like what white people be doing at work, trying to convince you that you're doing it for the greater good.
Yeah.
Like you're saving the world.
Yeah.
That's how sometimes you be like looking at like sportsmen. People talking about, I don't want to get into this topic. I'm really keeping myself away from this topic, but it's a good analogy. It's the Miss South African pageants. But I feel as if I'm going to let it go for now because the two blokes here, there's two niggas. So
I don't
as much as I can give you a stance.
I can't give a stance because number one, I don't watch that shit. I don't even know what generally encompass. All I know is like, you know, in TLC there used to be that show with the kids.
Oh yeah, the one where was that famous girl now who comes from.
And by the way, I was a kid when I was watching this shit.
So TLC was fire.
Like I'll be watching toddlers doing pageants, and I don't even think I watched the whole show, nigga. Actually, when I think about it, it's just the thing you see them advertising it, I guess.
Now only on TLC we used to eat. What's that show called? Strange Addictions. I just remember there was this guy, bro. This nigga was addicted to eating plastic. And then they used to like wrap the plastic around this newspaper so you would drive like dog.
No, he said he likes the plastic that they wrap the newspapers
with.
So now you'll be going.
No, what kills me is they show this nigga driving to someone's yard and looking like he's stealing this newspaper like an addiction. You know what I mean?
Like a fucking
like a real addiction now. You know what I mean? And this nigga eating plastic, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, this man was eating plastic. Mind you, what does TLC stand for?
Tender love and care, bro.
That's not what TLC started as. TLC started as an educational channel.
Yeah. It's teach, learn. No. The learning channel. The learning channel. Yeah.
My guy. When I say that we are not learning anymore, I don't care. Like, there's moments where
you learn about fat people, though. That's what you learn there, bro. You learn like how fatness works, dog.
There's just, I feel like, you know, when I watched TLC, I mean, now they changed it and they branded and they doing what's working. I mean, they called it they don't call it the learning channel more. You said Tender
Loving Care is just what we call it.
That's what
I don't think
those ads do.
I don't think it's Tender Loving Care. Does it?
I remember 2020. There were the 2020. We had My 90 Days Wed.
Yeah. Boy, that's a classic right there.
You know what I mean? Everybody was addicted, man. I remember even seeing this YouTuber, this guy build his own career, man. He upped, because I would just watch him, because he would just... I forgot his name.
No Neck Ed.
No, not No Neck.
That nigga created a personality for himself, bro.
No, that was
his spin-off.
Yeah, man. It was crazy, man.
It was
crazy, man. It was wild fucking times, man. But what I was going on the topic of saying, you always get people making you feel as if like have you ever seen celebrities talk with no, like, they just tone deaf, blank, out of touch, and they'll be talking as if they're gonna save the world, and you're like, my nigga.
Jonathan Majors.
Yeah.
See, Jonathan Major thinks that he's a fucking God's gift
he was a good actor. You know what I mean? He's a good actor.
And that's what he is, a fucking actor.
And the thing is, to be fair, I did check up on his history, was because the stuff he acted in, and even when he was in college, was about genuinely being black.
So that's why his drip is like a silver.
They say that nigga is 30, and that nigga look like 50, bro. Like not 50, like a good old, like no, a good looking 50-year-old, no homo, right? Get what I'm saying? But you do not look 30 something.
Nah, but I think it's his drip though.
Then I was watching. Oh my god, we were watching the Black Clan. It's a movie with Denzel Washington's son. Right? I was actually watching it on Amazon. I didn't know that.
But the same nigga that's in Tenet.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Man, you should watch that.
And Michael and Mary. Yeah, I told you.
No, he's good. No, he came out of nowhere, but he's good, man. He's really convinced. You should watch him in that movie.
I mean, your dad is Denzel Washington. I'm saying it runs in the genes, nigga. I'm not gonna be all up in that nepotism shit. Huh?
Brawny.
Look.
Okay, cool. Look. No, we'll go back. Wait, let me cook. We'll go back. To Brawny, right? I'm saying, cool, I was watching this movie, right? And now this guy in Colorado, he's the first and he's a brother. They all had Africa. Now it shows two ways. I remember I wanted to watch this movie back in 2020 during the COVID pandemic, but I kept on just delaying. And so I watched it with my girl. And the thing is, this guy becomes he becomes a cop, then he becomes a detective. Now he wants to investigate the KKK. Right?
Okay.
And so when he wants to investigate KKK, he calls the guy. Right? And the first thing he starts saying, he says all these, the slurs, like he hates, dude. I'm not going to say that because our podcast will not. He says all those things and he puts a white accent on. Now they want to meet him. So he's an undercover detective.
Oh, so
Yeah, so now he has to get another homie of his.
Yeah.
Right? Now, the Ku Klux Klan obviously don't like black people. They don't like Jewish people. They only believe. Now that other guy is a Jewish person. Now he has to
always hearing this thing. You'll drop this thing.
Yeah, man, I forgot.
Yeah.
But then now he goes there on the phone. Yeah, he pretends. He even calls up the head guy, man. He talks to him, and he's a black guy pretending to be in the Ku Klux Klan, man. He's just.
But they don't know how he looks, though.
Yeah, but now they think he looks like the other guy. And now they're like...
Which guy?
The other guy who goes in person because they're trying to investigate.
Oh,
so you should watch it and then, we'll talk about it. It's a good movie, right? It's so good.
And so Jonathan Majors he's starring in this film?
No, he wasn't. When you were speaking about it, I thought about Denzel Washington because when Denzel Washington grew on us, it was Cry Freedom, Malcolm X, all these.
Yeah.
And then he switched up. He gave us Training Day. But it's crazy. He gave us the best monologues that you could ever put in a rap song.
But you see, back then they didn't have social media, so you just don't go ahead and fuck
That's why he was
career.
The GOAT. That's why
saying
he's the
some
GOAT.
Wild shit.
Bro, you know that when I told my I watched The Last Dance by Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
And I looked at the guy, and I'm like, this nigga just GOAT. The way he's moving. He's not playing to be GOAT. This is the 90s.
That's just,
Guys holding the bed, cigar. And you're like... I see a lot of people try to say they that nigga.
Yeah.
Man, I know someone, LeBron probably will break some, MJ's points.
He really did.
But...
time ago.
It's just one MJ, man.
Yeah, when that's why they should now stop making that comparison. I believe MJ is MJ, and then whoever comes after that is whoever comes after that.
That's what's crazy. That's what's crazy.
That's how a lot of people even feel about him in rap and stuff with Tupac and all that shit. Some people are just on their own lane.
Just
I think you can't keep now saying who's gonna surpass.
Probably all the Drake fans. By the way, I listen to Drake. I've been listening to Drake since I was since we were 10.
Yeah. I mean, everyone grew up on Drake, man.
No, actually, some people be starting on the albums if you're reading this is too late. They don't want to get into that chat. I prefer a better thing. They don't know nothing.
I don't have those chats with people.
I've noticed. I remember catching a Drake. I remember catching a Drake fan right? And I'm a Ye fan. I caught this guy. I said, bro, you ain't even gonna tell me nothing. I tell him, I say, bro. He tells me best I ever had is some 2009. I'm like, nigga, bro, Crody.
Hey man, don't come say Crody here, man.
I said, Radic, that Crody slab though, bro. Come on, yeah, we just did it. Crody, listen.
Crody, listen.
Crody, listen. I remember my bro and I was the end of 2008. We still had Drake and Josh, and I changed on the music channel, and this was this music that said Drake, and then I was like, oh, Drake makes music, and they just came out this biracial guy with girls running onto the basketball court, and it was 2008. This guy, bro, he keeps on gangaring. I say, search it. He's like, oh, yeah. Then he starts talking, he tells me Drake, and then I'm like, you talking about the guy who got pushed, body by Pusha T? And he was quiet. He was just quiet. Like, I was like, quiet. So as I was going to my point, now we know Kendrick is the Michael Jordan or whatever. Yeah, what I'm saying is, no disrespect to every legend, but he's always gonna be Kendrick Lamar.
He's basically on another level at this point.
Yeah.
He has shown that there is no one who can take the chain from that nigga. Like, he is the king, and he proved it. Like, you imagine Drake. I mean, who else could have challenged Kendrick? Let's not lie. You know, we know Shaka. Look, guys, J. Cole is dope and all, but J. Cole is not built for that.
J. Cole that's not his. He's never really been a person. I mean, he rapped. I mean, to be honest, J. Cole, yo man, good lyricist. I listen to the guy, man. Been listening to the guy since the first time I heard J. Cole was who that? 2010.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For where I saw him, I mean, I was listening to Jermaine before the Braids. I mean, not the dreads. Sorry, I thought about Euphoria right now. Was it the Braids? So I started, the dreads, and I saw this guy, and I was like, this guy's alright, man. But I won't lie, as someone at that young age, I could somehow see he wasn't comfortable with that persona. It felt like, do what the masses want.
Yeah.
And then when I heard 2014 Forest Hill Drive, I was 16, and then I heard it, and it changed. I was like, it's funny. That album changed everything to put J. Cole into that top 3 thing, because if it was not that,
if it wasn't for that album,
you know what's it? It's the hair.
Arguably.
It's the hair.
It's the short.
That's why
even Kendrick.
That's
there's power in
there. That's why Drake had the audacity.
Yeah, because he grew his hair. That's why when he was doing this shallow cut,
he thought. But the problem he screwed up was the braids. It was the thing is, let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, if you look here at the back of my head, right, I wouldn't go do my hair, right? So my usual lady, right, I'm gonna rope it up. I'm gonna basically say one. My usual lady who usually does my hair, Nancy, she was busy because I came late. So unfortunately, so she got the other lady. And man, she was pulling, bro.
Yeah,
like usually I sit there, bro. She was pulling the hair. Right? Usually, I don't know, guys. I just started on my journey, man. I'm just wearing my hair. Usually,
it looks clean, though.
Thanks, man. I'm in the pain, though. But now I'm not in pain. It's like better.
Yeah, but I can see. Yeah, you see when you pull it, bro. The braids get tighter, like the knots. I don't know what you call those.
But
stuff.
I've been cooking this hair the entire day, man.
Yeah.
I've been cooking it, man. It's like waves. And then usually, why I'm getting to my point, right?
Yeah.
So usually, Nancy does this thing where she opens up. I don't know, they do it, man. Females would know it, man. They part it, they put something, right? Nancy puts it, and then she has whatever that gel it is, that moisturizer to do the hair, and she keeps it there, and then she'll always like rep and then braid the hair, right? This lady, man, she was just braiding me with my nappy hair, man. I'm proud of my nappy hair. I'm truly proud.
So she didn't even moisturize.
Yeah.
Maybe your hair was oily.
No.
How do you know?
So as soon as it finished, my hair was like worms. So it was like going like this. I'm like, I'm panicking because I won't lie. I've been burned, guys, by the barber. and hairdresser. And the same lady, the first time I tried to grow them up back in 2021.
Yeah.
She, imagine braiding a guy. You see, we do this. Bro, she just made lines like boxes. Like she just made boxes. Like there was no style to it. She just made boxes. And I was shocked, and I had to ask my barber. He's like, and then there were like 3 niggas on my hair, bro. Like
they were fixing
it up, just to get it the way I was. So now this lady, she don't put that thing, bro. My hair is this nappy. You know what I mean? And I was like, Drake don't know that. That's my moral. That's why I was telling you the story. Because if it was nappy like that, I bet you the boss would have been on point.
So you tell y'all know about that.
Because Lamar also braided in 20. He gave us damn. That's when he gave us. I was walking the street the other day. He gave us last. He gave us, give me a run for my money. It was still that, even though he got the braids.
Come forget it.
What happens on earth stays on earth, right? It was still that the nappiness was still kicking. By the way, I'm not judging Drake. I don't know as a nigga, man. But, you need the hit. That's why J. Cole be dropping bars.
Nah, I started to see the hit thing, man.
Wait.
I ain't gonna lie, man. That shit probably has some
powers. That's why Joey had dreads for a time, right? Joey Badass.
Yeah.
He had dreads for a while, then he cut it.
Yeah, when he started, he was rocking dreads.
Yeah.
And then they started cutting.
I remember, man, his father said when we passed metric, he's like, he has to do something with the hair. He started listing really smart African people with hair, right?
Yeah.
I was like, maybe this nigga's onto something. Because remember that year. Do you think if maybe we didn't grow those afros? By the way, guys, in metric, I need to find a picture. We all grew afros.
I forgot about
I said, I came up with a stupid thing because I noticed that Jay-Z used to grow out his hair when he was making albums. I'm like, gosh, let's grow out our hair. Mind you, I had the smallest hair. So even in that picture, I'm not in it, where you guys already had afros and mine was still coming, right? But these motherfuckers never had the audacity to tell me that, nigga, you need to cut that shit when you get to university. I had a flow through. I was studying politics. Hey, man.
Hey, bro, you look like a guy who just came across some education, bro. That time we used to be debating bullshit, nigga.
You know what? Even when you go on to that topic, who was I telling? Why I hated at that point that I was studying, someone said something profound when we got to study politics. He said, what people usually do on a daily basis when they talk about politics, guys, I'm not going to really get into politics, but what people usually do when they talk about politics, they describe politics. And what we're going to teach you is to analyze politics, right? Now, you get into it, you're getting into university level, you're learning how to decipher, understand what political philosophy is, political economics is, guys. Sometimes I do sound smart. Political economics, the psychology or the people, right? Understanding it. And then you go study. Then you have a conversation with any random guy.
And they
just think, we having the same conversation. Not because you're looking down, you're like, oh my God, this guy doesn't care. This guy doesn't care how many sources, how much you maybe analyze, international law, because I was studying international relations, understanding, any of this. He doesn't care. He cares about his agenda or his political party or whoever he favors, and you're there I don't really care for that. I care about creating a society that lives in harmony and respects and people live, right? You're trying to find not that you're doing that, but you're analyzing these different ideologies like realism, liberalism, in between of it, I forgot all of them, right? These types of things, but we're not really gonna get into that. And you just get niggas after you wrote, man, paper off the paper, and this nigga just is. And then you know what they'll do? It's especially the old days. No, man, you don't know nothing. And you're just like,
But I think the thing is that politics is one thing that is very subjective. You know what I'm saying? Not everyone can have an objective overview, because then you're unable to remember that the goal here is we must vote for, or we must pick.
Remember,
everything
like
has to be subjective. So you speak to a person.
Remember that is gonna be sorry to cut you off, but that is only gonna be the one part of it, which is government, right?
Yeah,
and it's not gonna. And remember, at the end of the day, when we're trying to analyze the politics and we're trying to do what? We're trying to make the state, the country, right? We're trying to make the state live, right? And today, and when you're doing politics, it's my party, your party. You feel me? It's not about.
Like I said, man, niggas don't give a shit about that, bro.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, it is one of those things that genuinely is a very subjective type of thing, and regardless of how you can go into depth about certain things, to other people it's just what
don't care.
They see and what they know and what they understand.
I remember there was a guy,
and that's what, like, a lot of people who win from my observation, the people who do better in politics are people who don't carry your mindset. So if you carry that mindset, a lot of the times you're not able to speak to the masses.
I guess,
because people in the masses don't hear those fucking terms. So they just want to hear simple words like jobs, money, things like that.
Money,
house,
money, housing.
You know what I'm saying?
But anyway, that's another conversation.
So that's generally how it is, man.
It just goes back to those things, and I tell you, man, people don't really give a shit how much you know, where you studied, what you did, how much due diligence, how much hours you put in. I remember a guy at work trying to tell me Excel is powerful. I'm like, yes, I know. But it is the worst thing for data analysis. And he's like, hey, man, you don't know. And I'm like, I'm not going to argue with this guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, you sit there and you're looking at yourself. And I think it's very hard in life. We used to do it a lot in high school, where you argue about nothing. People still do it today. Like, you just argue for the sake of arguing.
Yeah, I think that's a common trend that I've realized. I don't know. Now I start to think about it. What is it about, though? Is it because you generally feel like if you don't do this, we have nothing better to talk about? Or because it's weird, bro. Like, I've seen it, like, yo, why y'all niggas trying to, like, I don't know. I know sometimes you can be fucking around. These niggas, but, like, no, man.
They remember everyone at the end of the day, people just, it feels good to be right.
No.
Let's not lie. It feels good to be right. Definitely. So at the end of the day, we're not open-minded as much as we want to be. Like, for me, for example, I'm not going to lie to anyone. I believe I'm at a point in my life where I'm just willing to try stuff. I can't tell you right now, this is definite, this is how. There's certain principles that I've, grown and said, this is not what I'm going to fault on. This change. But I can never act and say, I want to adapt. And then what I struggled with usually as growing up was adapting and not figuring out that, life changes. Life changes and you have to adapt to what's happening, where you are, your environment, your people, the people you're around.
The things you used to do,
they're not going to be the same. You see certain things, your mindset changes. Because someone can come now with something, like failure, as we were talking about in the beginning, could happen, and you just switch. That different mindset. So I always keep this open mind. Yes, do I also get the point where you just arguing about fucking nothing and you just want to be right? Hell yeah, nigga, you're a human being. And then you go back and like, fuck, I was doing too much. I should have let this shit go. Have you ever had an argument? Guys, have you ever had an argument where it gets so out of control that they just shouting? Like, it's just shouting. And nigga hates you. From this day forth, this nigga used to be cool with it. That nigga's enemy part of that's
a kerfuffle.
What the fuck is that?
Kerfuffle. That's what Charlemagne says.
Dog, it's so interesting. Like, I won't lie, man. sometimes I don't know. I remember I used to feel it in high school where you don't want to let it go.
Yeah.
Like, let's say this nigga proves you wrong. And you talking to this nigga, y'all were arguing yesterday. Y'all go to the cafeteria, that nigga's there, y'all sit down, you fetch that argument to prove your point. You're like, nigga, I ain't letting this go. You ain't gonna let me go like that. Now I'm always like, I don't know, there's a moment where I would be sitting like, if right now, I don't know, maybe it's an age thing, where you just talk to someone and you're like, oh, I don't care actually. And you just let it go. You just let it go. I don't know when I got to do that way. You just like, oh yeah. I think I realized it when I'm like, there's one of these moments where, let's say we're in an environment and you get frustrated and you go in a monologue and you make noise and you speak your feelings.
Yeah.
And no one gives a shit. And everyone carries on as the jiggles. And I started realizing, guys, like if this person's not a baby, it's not a child, you can talk comments. And if that nigga's a full-blown adult, boy, don't spend your time ever worrying or trying to prove someone who has a certain mindset that they say this is what they are and they are grown, this is what they do, or this is how they see things. Not saying don't try, but there's just moments where other people, they're not worth making noise for, losing your shit over for. Because guys, losing your shit can make you lose your shit. When I mean your shit, like you could lose everything.
Yeah,
from the sake of you, hey nigga, wait, shit, man, you got a haircut, man, like shit,
man.
Hey man, let's see the light, man. Let's drop it out.
Niggas don't see shit, man.
Man, I'm like, you know, I've been talking to this nigga. I'm looking at him. I'm like, man, I saw this nigga 2 days ago. Something's different, bro.
I cut my hair today, bro. I had to force it, bro.
Yeah, yo, dude.
Sometimes you can't just feel like, fuck it, I want to cut my hair. Like, even though you have the money to cut your hair twice a week, sometimes you be like, twice every month. You be like, do I really want to cut my hair twice a month? Like, it's effort, it's time that you have to take out of your day as well.
Today,
I
went to go wash the car. And I usually appreciate like washing my car, and I hate the fact that I told mom, I was like, no, it sucks. I started realizing you can't do everything.
No, you
because
really
in your mind you're like, okay, I'm gonna do some work, and then I'm gonna wash the car, and then I'm gonna come here, we're gonna come to Melville, then we're gonna record the podcast. You're like, even on my way here, I uploaded a YouTube video, right?
Yeah.
But then I didn't upload the shorts, and I was like, and mind you, when I made this YouTube video, it was never in the schedule. I was sitting and I was working, and I was like, hey man, I remember that song I made it. Let me go make a visualize. And I, popped out the ring light, I'm sure my hands like, Jordan work. I was like, just sitting there like, I just got the inspiration, so I need to paint. I'm a camp. That's how I work. Like, you know what I mean? I'm one of these people, like, I'm not a spontaneous guy, but it was like I don't like going to the office, because I feel like when I'm in the office, that's when that creative shit where you're like, man, just give me a mic, give me a camera, give me whatever, and you're like, right? So sometimes just do that.
That's why my joke book is usually like when I get to work, I try write in the morning. And then sometimes I'm not able to. If I have sometimes my jokes come across as like a whole full bit. So that takes time to write the whole bit down. But at least that one is better. Sometimes it's like punchlines. I'm able to just think of cool punchlines, and then I'll just write it down.
Have you ever had any creative blocks during this path of trying to, pursue comedy?
No. Even if... So that's why, like, the book that I read has basically a way of making you, let's say you have a writing session. It gives you like a method, a writing method style that let's say sit down and you say you want to write. Even though you had nothing in mind, you don't know what the fuck you want to talk about, whatever, it makes you be able to write at least a couple of one-liner jokes and premises that you could build upon. You know what I'm saying? Like, things, because sometimes... You sit down, and then example, let's say your topic is cars. I don't know any jokes of cars right now. So like there's a whole system saying, okay, I'll create an association list. You know what I'm saying? Or what are the positive opinions I might have about cars? You know what I'm saying? And then what I'll do is then I'll say, okay, since I have these positive opinions, what are the negative opinions? Because at the end of the day, the best joke is from positive to negative, or from negative to more negative.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? So like when you able to just now, then you can at least come up with something at the end. Like, oh, okay, that was not bad. Like you have a decent premise, and then one day you're just chilling, and then you start building on it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why creatively, with comedy, you will come across maybe what you feel like. Maybe I'm making the same. Too much dick jokes, you know. Maybe I'm always making dick jokes.
I mean, dick jokes.
Yeah, man, they're solid, bro. I feel like they're purely solid.
Yeah,
bro.
that's the.
You can't go wrong with a dick joke, bro.
You gotta make sure it's good though.
Yeah,
it really gotta be good. I mean, I think my creative process, I have like moments when I'm really creative, and then I'll just go on a down spiral where nothing is coming. You know what I mean? Nothing is coming. Like what usually happens during my creative process, like making music and stuff. Remember last year we made some tracks, we recorded that stuff in like a week.
Yeah.
And then when you release it, people think, oh, you recorded it, and you're like, nah, at that moment, that's when I was creative. So like moment right now, lately, man, I think, stepping in and making a podcast, just posting or giving it shit and not thinking about it. Has made it easier. Because it took, I think the moment I even told you, I think the moment, I remember when I posted in the beginning of the year, I posted like songs. I posted songs. I got a couple of views. What I used to do is I used to share them on my status. Now I don't. And then a couple of weeks ago, I got 1 view. Even now, I probably have 0 views. Like that. And then I was like, oh my God. I realized something. No one gives a shit.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it. No one is looking at me. No one is putting any pressure. Right now, I'm at my peak where no one's caring. That and that makes it so much easier. And every time I see when I'm starting to overdo, then I'm like, whoa, relax, bro.
Who are you doing it for? Sometimes.
Yeah.
I feel like the first thing you need to realize, even though whatever you're doing needs other people to enjoy it and love it, but sometimes it's like at the end of the day, this is what I like doing, so let me just do it for me. I feel like that.
I mean, I won't lie to you. When we started like. What I now do, like I do it for you. Like I'll create something, and when I used to like make those songs, and I only discovered last year, I would make a song, and then wouldn't wait, like I couldn't wait to play or make the beat, and I'll look at you. Because if I felt like I did something amazing, you would verify by your face while you're listening. Nah, this nigga just cooked, right? That was the only thing I needed. That was what mattered. That's what fucking matters at the end of the day. Or that one person who's not your brother, who's not anything to you, just comes and says, that was pretty cool, man. Shout out. And then you just take that, you just flow. Because I think we forget all these platforms, your YouTube, right? Remember scrappy YouTube? When anything used to go on YouTube, and now everything has to look clean. Like everyone has to sell an idea.
Fuck. And I feel like that's the thing with also this podcast. It's like the shittiest part is like we know these niggas who booking out studios and shit. You know what I'm saying? And the fact is that's why no one wants to try this stupid shit. Like of course it's not the quality these niggas are using their phones and shit, like things like that. But I just feel like nigga. Fuck it, nigga. If someone just pops through and just looks at it and be like, what these niggas say? You know what I'm saying?
It's okay, and it's out.
And it's cool. You know what I'm saying?
Bro,
then at least
if the aliens, if the aliens take over and want to study civilization, maybe somewhere in the midst, 100 years from now, people want to know, damn, there was a rave about podcasts for 10 years. You know what I mean? There was a rave about comedy. Let's see how the humor was. Let's see how people were listening. You know what I mean? And it's crazy, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. You know, I believe in young people, not because I'm young. I believe that we're at this critical time in our lives where we don't want to admit that we don't know what the fuck we're doing. We don't want to admit that we all have low self-esteem.
Don't let anyone tell you how this life thing is. We all don't know what the fuck's going on.
Exactly.
And we're all just trying to figure it out, nigga. And like to everybody, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? At the end of the day, we don't know what's real anymore, right? We don't know how many people are doing what it like basically being relatable on their fake thingy or trying to do stuff, but it's okay. Like, I believe as young people, it's okay that we need to just be there for each other.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about all the other people, but like we, you know what's crazy, man? We hate on each other, and then on top of that, we got the old heads hating on us.
Yeah,
you know.
We have to cut this short, man. We spent a lot of time trying to set up shit, and now we're running thin on time because I have to see if I can get myself a little slot there,
man. But
you know, I find crazy. I was listening to Joe Rogan recently. I never used to listen to Joe Rogan a lot, but now since I started driving quite often, I started listening to him a lot. And he was talking about, like, you know, when they started doing their podcast, like they used to do it like, they say the comedy room is like upstairs. They go to a room and record it. And I'm like, oh shit, what the fuck? Like, these niggas are just like recording, like, you know what I'm saying?
Whole ass car.
Yeah, like, so like, I just feel like, yeah, man, that kind of just speaks to the fact that I feel like the main thing for this podcast, what I would also like, is generally just to fucking bring people whoever want to bring, and we just fucking chat. I don't want to make it, you know, eventually, sure, maybe we could have much more formalized shit, but I don't want it to come sometimes across as unnatural. I don't know. I just want people to actually know that when you see me on this shit, probably when that nigga's walking on the street, the niggas probably like that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I think, yeah, and I feel like, yes, before we leave, you usually have to get something off your chest. I feel like today I had something to get off my chest, and the thing I need to get off my chest is that don't be trying to fucking act like you know niggas just based on first impressions. Like, that's my thing. It's like, as much as they say first impressions last forever, but like sometimes, nigga, you don't have a conversation for nigga for 5 seconds, and already now you wanna run the nigga's whole fucking life down as if you know what the fuck's going on in this nigga's head. You don't. You'll never fucking know. You know, don't also discredit. I try my best as well not to do that. Only human sometimes, you just fucking pushing your own agenda onto someone. But sometimes, man, people are layered, man. Let's just all remember that. You know, even if this motherfucker's always angry.
Yeah.
His wife didn't want to give him some pussy. You never know, nigga. Like, you see that boss is all pissed off. Usually I just try to make them human, you know? Your teacher's all pissed off and all that shit. Maybe she needs stick in her life. You know, you never know what the fucking problems is sometimes. So, you know, let's also remember, when you want people to give you grace, sometimes give other people grace. So I think, yeah, man, I think I'm projecting because, you know, some people just see how people just be talking shit. I'm like, nigga, you don't know me, nigga. But hey, man, I feel like everyone feels that way as well. You know, many people can relate to that shit. But yeah, man, that's pretty much what I want to get off my chest, man.
What I want to get off my chest is, man, I hate being tired, man. I feel like I always had energy. I always like was the loud guy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was always loud, but now I found myself always mellow and tired. So I just want to get on my chest like, man, fuck being tired, man. This old shit maybe I ain't resting because my mind always calculating shit while I'm in bed. I don't know.
Yeah.
But man, damn. And you know what I want to get off my chest? Guys, like, stop watching things where how they're making us paranoid that we don't breathe right, we don't sleep right, we don't eat right, you don't walk right, your back's supposed to be. All of that, man. Can we stop?
Yeah.
Because there's like been many generations of people who've lived, right? I don't feel like life should be that complicated.
Yeah, no, man. Just stay off the fucking socials, man. But yeah, man. Yo, I gotta.
Unless you're listening to us. So, cool.
Yeah, man.
Man. Peace, love.
It's been Third Avenue. Bye.
Bye.